Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Mini John Cooper Works two-door hardtop. Huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This specific model is also the 1965 Victory Edition. It's finished off in chili red with all of the white accents, and MSRP is just over $47,000. Now this is powered by the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo. It's paired to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic. Pumps out 228 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. It's front-wheel drive. It weighs in just under 3,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds with a top speed up to 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 11.6 gallons. You'll expect to see 27 miles per gallon in the city, 37 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 98.2 inches. Its overall length is 152.6. It has a width of 68.7, a height of 57.2, and its ground clearance measures in just over 5 inches. Now with this 1965 Victory Edition, this is paying homage to the 1965 competition in Monte Carlo, where the driver's number was 52, and this is paying tribute to that win with a Mini Cooper S, which was the vehicle that won that championship. Now as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice the John Cooper Works badge. There's also a sensor for the distance pacing, forward camera, plenty of cutouts too with that checkered pattern design running right through the middle portion of the grille. There's also gloss black accents too and some cutouts in the lower section. Now this also has active grille shutters, so that section there will open and close depending on the cooling needed. You'll notice too there's some gloss black accents in the lower section of the bumper, and then LEDs for all of the lighting with that circular design. Now this white stripe that runs down the bonnet also has the registration letters within it there, which is a nice subtle touch to see. Now as we work our way to the side, you'll notice more gloss black for the fender arches. This also has the floating mini center caps, so those will stay upright as the wheel spins, of course. There's the JCW brakes finished off in red too, and you'll notice the mirror caps are white. There's also a turn signal and the camera system underneath, and the whole roof is white as well. There's the full moonroof, and that stripe continues its way down the roof too. You'll notice the A-pillar up front is gloss black, just to match it nicely with the window trim, which is gloss black as well. You'll notice 52 for that driver, and then in back, there's the gloss black spoiler, along with the third brake light, the wiper blade, the 1965 Victory Edition badge. You'll notice John Cooper Works, of course, backup camera with the parking sensors, and then this has a single center exit exhaust with gloss black for the rest of that bumper. Now as we work our way to the interior, you can use the release underneath for the lift gate, and with the back seats up, you don't have a ton of space, but you could place in some bags here. You could easily go grocery shopping, place in some items. You even have a little bit of storage under the floor as well. Now this cover here is removable, and you can easily reach in and fold the seats down from the back. So you have a good bit of space where you can place in some items for this smaller vehicle and make this practical as a daily driver. There's also 2 grab handles up top, and it's very lightweight, so it's easy to close. Now as we work our way to the interior, you'll notice a neat design for behind the lock and unlock controls there. There's also a brushed accent for the release handle. The mirrors are power folding. There's the window controls, the trunk release, and some storage in the lower section, and the soft touch materials on the upper section. 1965 Victory Edition is also on the door sill trim accent there. This also has power operating seats with the memory seating adjustments. They have a combination of leather and the cloth. In order to gain access to the rear seats, you have that manual adjustment for the backrest, and then the seat will work its way forwards from there. And that will allow you to gain access to the back. Now from here, I can easily lock that seat up into place, and you have a good bit of space for its smaller size to have 2 people in the back. Now, there's only 1 cup holder. You have a little bit of leg space there. And at 5'10", I'm just barely touching the headliner, so I could ride around. It's a small vehicle, but it's practical for 4 people. You also have an armrest too, your own sunshade, so you can close that as needed, and then the large cargo window too. So for its smaller size, it's not going to feel too claustrophobic. And then from there, we can just put the backrest back, and then you have the seat will move back into its location, and you have plenty of glass there for additional visibility. We are greeted with the solid and perforated leather steering wheel with 1965 on the lower section there. Really neat stripe for that as well. And then with my foot on the brake, let's twist the start button and bring this to life. And now coming back, let's move on to the head-up display. So this will rise as the vehicle starts and lower when it's shut off. Currently, it's showing miles per hour along with power, fuel, and the speed limit. And then with the rest of the steering wheel, there's paddle shifters on both sides. There's also a boost paddle on this left side. I will go over that once we get this out on the road. There's cruise control settings. You'll notice the ambient lighting to indicate the distance pacing. And then on this right side, there's volume, a shortcut to music, your Bluetooth and voice commands. There's also a favorites button or a shortcut that will pop up on that head-up display. And then there's also this rotary dial that you can go up and down, left and right to pull up your media and some other favorites and shortcuts within that head-up display. Now on the left side, there's one air vent. This also has Harman Kardon for the audio. That same soft touch design goes across the whole dash here. And then everything is basically within the infotainment system here. Now, if you start on the home screen, you can swipe through all of these widgets here, just depending on what you would like to get into and view. You'll notice too that upper section is going to be fixed. So you can see miles per hour, your fuel. This is essentially what you see on the head-up display for that upper section. On both sides, you can also get into the heated seats, heated steering wheel for your driver, and there's the temperature adjustments as well. In the lower section, you can easily get into the climates to go through all of this information. You have where you'd like the air to go. You can get into a few more of those settings. You can also get into some of the favorites here for your audio, get back to home. There's also a shortcut to the navigation and music as well. If you push on the 6 squares, now you can go through several apps here, like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have different displays, a drive recorder, driving settings, even your cameras. You can get through quite a lot depending on what you need to adjust. And then you can even swipe up from the bottom. You have some shortcuts that you can get into and adjust as well. Now underneath that, there's volume and you have the different driving modes. So I won't pause for all of these, but they're all going to make their own unique tone depending on the mode that you're in. And of course, it will change the background as well. I have gone into this in further details in previous mini videos, but it's pretty neat to see. Now, some of these are going to be a gimmick, but some are functional. Like John Cooper Works, this is going to be more of your sport mode basically, and it shows you a lot of the sport information, which is nice. Now, this is the engine start stop, and then the gear selector. So push it straight up. That is for reverse, where this has the 360 camera system. You can also go through several more adjustments up top here, depending on what you need to see. So you have no shortage of visibility for this entire vehicle. Now you have drive, and then the e-brake is also park. Underneath that, there's defrosters, the hazards, a shortcut for that camera system, and then the last one is going to bring up your driver assistance and drivetrain and chassis. Now this also has wireless charging. There's cup holders, 1965 on the center storage bin. You have auxiliaries behind that. There's a fixed center armrest there. Plenty of storage in the glove box. And then up top, you have your rear view, there's dome lights, and then you do have the control for the sunroof. Both sunshades are manual, so those are easy to open and retract. And then with all this glass right here around the driver's seat, you have a lot of visibility without that camera system. As we set off behind the wheel now for this John Cooper Works, this specific 1965 Victory Edition is going to be a limited model run. I believe it's somewhere around 40 units for this specific trim, and I think that the dealers have to be approved in order to get an allocation. This dealer is only getting one, so this is something that is very limited and probably the only one that I will see. I think it's really neat. Mini Cooper has done this in the past to pay tribute to racers and victories that Mini Cooper has won throughout its racing experience. And that's pretty neat with Mini Cooper. These are vehicles that are actually driven on the track. Hopefully owners are doing some performance and spirited driving with them, because while it's not a high horsepower vehicle, this is a very tossable car and it's going to do very well, especially in some tighter mountain situations, some smaller track driving. It's not the highest top speed, but even with a minor acceleration like that, we're already up to speed without even thinking. So it's a quick car relative to its weight and the power that it produces. It's also a very normal vehicle to drive for every day. It is a small vehicle, of course, so if you're not looking for something large, it's a good city type of vehicle. You could have 4 people in here if you needed to. If you just don't have a lot of items and you want something that's going to be fun to drive and very economical too, it's a really cool option. And with this specific model, it's pretty much a JCW. All we have is the cosmetics for the 1965, but it's really neat to see that. If you are big into the Mini heritage and racing, it's a great option to go with. Now, for its normal day-to-day driving, these seats are very comfortable. I like the bolster support that they have. This is also a height adjustable seat, and with the boxy design that this vehicle has, with the seat all the way down at 5'10", I still have about 3 inches or so of headroom. So for its sizing, you could be a little bit taller than me and still fit in this. And then we have the large infotainment system here. I've heard some comments from previous Mini Coopers that I've driven. It would be neat to see some type of a gauge cluster behind the steering wheel. You do have the head-up display, which essentially shows you that information, but it would be nice to see it a little bit more configurable as well. So there's not a whole lot to go through since everything is here. It would be nice to see a little bit. I could see the argument towards having a little bit more for the gauge cluster. But other than that, these are fun vehicles to drive. The handling is very good as well. Like I mentioned, I won't be doing any performance driving today, but I've been in vehicles of this weight and this power, and it's a very tossable vehicle. So it's one that you can have a lot of spirited fun and not worry about having some high horsepower vehicle that potentially could be intimidating or just maybe not even usable for daily driving. You can only do so much on the streets, of course, on some back mountain roads. This vehicle, you can use its full potential. You can go through the gears and really enjoy the handling characteristics and just learning the weight of the vehicle and its momentum without having high horsepower. You can still have a lot of fun. And in the JCW mode from second gear, here we go. And just a minor acceleration, we're up to speed. The paddles are also going to be very responsive. As this has a dual clutch transmission, it is one of the best that you can get for being an automatic. Now we are in sixth gear. If I hold on this left paddle shifter, as I mentioned earlier, it's a boost paddle. If I hold on that for a few seconds, it'll drop down to third gear, and we have that countdown there where you can accelerate, do some performance driving fun. Of course, you could just downshift a few times yourself, but if you're in a pinch or you just feel like doing that, that's a really neat option to have for this model. So this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the JCW. That is one thing, like I mentioned earlier, having some more information within the gauge cluster. What gear you're in is over here. So while you have to glance this way, it's kind of the same as if you were to glance down at the gauge cluster, but again, would be nice to see some of that information on the head-up display, especially being in the sport mode settings. Maybe if it changed just slightly, it would be neat to see that, but it's still there. It's pretty easy to see as needed. Very easy to see as well with the boxy design. You have some small A-pillars, so you have quite a lot of glass in all directions. You can easily see in front of the side mirrors too, and this is a comfortable vehicle to drive. We have very nice materials, and there's a huge following for the Mini Cooper brand in general. I think it would be neat if some of these limited editions had the manual transmission. Mini Cooper has done away with having the manual for the JCW. So something limited like this, I think it would be neat to see, or at least have that option. But regardless, you have a really quick transmission and a fun driving car. So that is going to wrap it up for this 2026 Mini John Cooper Works 1965 Victory Edition. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.